Hello and welcome to Community Roundup. I'm Munjal Yagnik. In tonight's show, Indian community celebrates Republic Day with India's Consul General in San Francisco. Indian Americans observe Mahatma Gandhi's Punya Tithi at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan in New York. And South Asian bands on the rise in Newport, New Jersey. All this and much more, but after a short break. Welcome back. You're watching Community Roundup. They say music is God's favorite art form. It has the intensity to make you fall in love, and it has the power to start a revolution. For many around the world, it is an expression like no other. Here in Newport, New Jersey, many local Desi bands have emerged in the last few years to form a very vibrant community of musicians of different skill levels. Our Subi Khanna met with some of these emerging musicians.
We're here at a local bar in Jersey City, and it's amazing to see the Desi local talent present here. So many people who feel connected to their roots, connected to India, because they are playing Indian music as well as Indian music with some fusion influences of the Western culture, whether it be in rock, Metallica or any other of the various bands out there. People are enjoying playing Western and Indian covers and also playing lots of songs from Bollywood films. It's amazing to see that how these people all collaborate together, work with many different people and form local bands and play in various coffee shops and bars in Newport as well as in New York City. Well, I hope wherever you guys are, you appreciate the local Desi bands out there and appreciate their talent.
I've been playing violin and viola since age 12. I learned in school here. I learned Western classical, and I started competing in all states and started teaching. And then when I graduated from high school, I started doing my own compositions. So more Bollywood based, more Indian, more pop rock, impromptu freestyle type of music. Not so much of the focus on Hindustani or Carnatic, but more on trying to create kind of a new twist to some of the songs that are out there.
How's it like working with other Desi bands and forming your own little group?
It's actually very exciting in the sense that everybody brings a different background and taste to it, and every performance that we do is different. Every song we do is very different. And it's also yet amazing how we can sound so much like the cover song as well. So it's been very exciting. It's been a very personal growth element for me too with what I do with the music, and it's been a very non-conventional way of playing from Western classical all of a sudden into a impromptu rock band type of format.
Our band's name is eventually Epic. It's me, Shottam, and we have a third bandmate who couldn't be here for this particular show. We formed pretty recently. It's been about, 6 months or something?
6 months or so, yeah.
Like.
I guess our repertoire consists of a lot of, Hindi popular songs and a lot of classic rock covers, but we also do a lot of original material as well that is also either English or Hindi. So I mean, we're trying to focus eventually to do like full original sets of songs, but then but now it's, I mean, most of our sets consist of, I guess, cover songs and our original material.
next to me is Dexter Wade, a well-known musician here in Newport. He's worked and performed with many local bands. He's formed many local bands, and we are here to find out what is the reason behind having local bands here in New York City or Newport.
I was fortunate enough to play in the city, in New York City, as a bassist for a while, and then I actually got an opportunity in Newport to do an event for Asha. That was my first event, and then I found so much local talent out here, and I started calling people together, mixing and matching, and we have so much of Indian talent out in Newport, Jersey City, and the state of Jersey. I think that it's interesting because I think music is changing. So what are you seeing is a lot of fusion, tabla, guitar, violin, people mixing and matching, and that's what it's all about. In the end of the day, people want to have an experience where somebody who listens to Western music gets introduced to Indian music, but someone who listens to Indian music also wants to feel that he's listening to a classic rock or Western album, you know.
I used to hang out with a lot of people who are musicians. I had a lot of exposure growing up. When I was in Bombay growing up, I had a lot of people around me who were surrounded by music. It started with classical, went into pop and phases, and I started hanging out with a lot of rock bands from Bombay. And then I finally picked up the guitar by myself in about 2001. Then I realized I could actually try to play myself. There are a lot of people I've met in the last 1 year that are so talented, beyond like people who I would have never dreamt that would be all in this small little area. They're unbelievably talented, and even when we just get together and jam, it's an unbelievably musical evening where everyone's having a great time. We relax, we have fun, and it's all about just enjoying yourself.
I play the Carnatic classical violin mainly, so I got into violin pretty early, like when I was 5 years old. So I've been playing for like 22 years now. And most of it was Carnatic classical, and once I came to the US, I started playing Latin and bluegrass and stuff like that. So I met Dexter a couple of years back, so I've been playing in random shows with him ever since. But I mainly teach the Carnatic classical music, and I give a lot of Carnatic shows as well.
American India Foundation works to accelerate